once you build the trust, but this kind of trust in the humans, as long as you are humans, okay, so we are not talking about
Yeah.
AI, you always have to apply the rules of like 80-20. That means you always must stay openness to the mistake in
Mm-hmm.
order for you to arrive in a deeper and rooted and firm kind of understanding and faith in what
Mm-hmm.
you believe.
Welcome to the first 7 seconds where energy doesn't lie and silence can speak volumes. I'm Romy, your host, and this episode, it's a beautiful grounded dive into energetic presence with Lucine and Jace, founders of the Senses Therapy. So what you'll learn and feel, your energy walks in before you do. Forget just body language. Your vibe introduces you first. Lucine and Jace show us how to listen to your inner yes, no, and maybes, and how that subtle self-trust becomes your loudest presence. Number two, boundaries are beautiful. Being present isn't about being wide open. It's about knowing what's yours and what's not. Learn to protect your peace and show up solid. Number three, human over hype. It's an AI-fueled world. True charm isn't still 100% human. It's not about saying the perfect thing. It's about feeling the real thing and letting that radiate. If you've been craving alignment, resonance, and a reminder that you're already enough, this episode is a soft, strong exhale. Let's check it out. Welcome,
Okay.
Lucine. I know we're still waiting for the other half, which is Jace, but we can talk about a little bit in terms of, yeah, what does energy mean to you? I'm curious before Jace even comes in.
G is happen in everywhere. So depends on which context that you are talking about. So it could be just like how you use your electricity at home.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
also
Yeah.
a
Okay.
form of
Like
energy.
actually energy. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Use less because then you save more. So yeah.
So yeah, that's a common knowledge of energy.
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you put the principle word in a human being, so human is also carry a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So physically, of course, yes, you need blood, you need air, in order for you to function. Now, other than that, is something not really commonly talked about, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's something not visible.
Yes. Yes.
It's got to do by intuitions and feelings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Less common,
Yeah.
especially in the busy day.
Yeah.
Uh, you have a lot errands to run, a lot of tasks is pumping up. You got no heart, no time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
deal or even sense that.
Yes.
So that is the most important part. You can understand like conversation without language. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. Some
Very,
people
very
may
cool.
be easier to comprehend through the ways like body language.
Yeah.
They will say,
Yeah.
oh, okay, body language is the energy, but
Yes.
not exactly putting as an equal marks.
Mm-hmm.
Body language is part of the expression of the
Yes.
energy.
Yeah. Do you feel people are kind of like detached from the energies, because sometimes they're too practical and want to get things done, in this busy world, basically.
I think yes. Not only that is because the culture that we are dealing with right now,
Mm.
um people are more used to material things outside the world
Hmm.
because it's much more easier for people to comprehend.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm. Like just take example, right now, feel your hands without touching. Then compare to you feel your hand with your real touching. Which one is easier? Okay.
Touching.
It sounds like a stupid question, right? But
Yeah.
this is a very straightforward kind of example. And
Mm-hmm.
hi, this is
Hi.
hi, Jace.
Wow, glowing. Wow, full of light, full of energy.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
so speaking of hello, hello. Hey, Jace, how's it going? Doing good?
Yes, very good. Can you hear me loud and
Fantastic.
clear?
Yeah,
Right?
speaking of energy, and then you just came in with a lot of light behind you. So I'm sure it's coming from the window. that's behind the virtual background. But yes, but no, it feels very angelic. You're bringing blessings to the conversation, so which is
Thank
great.
you.
But yes, I think
Yeah.
Lucine was kind of mentioning about the nonverbal, the body language, that it's not totally, it's an expression of the energy, right? So sorry, please
Mm,
continue. Please continue.
Yeah, so we was talk about how is the sensitivity about these
Mhm.
vibe things in between the human being. Does the busy world affect the connection? So
Yes.
yeah, so I just talking about one of the example. So
Mm.
compare between if let's say everyone that you are listening right now, you can try it out.
Mhm.
Now everyone feel your palm, feel your hands without touching. Now compare to you feelings your palms with your own touch. So which one is easier? Of course, with touching, right? Yes or no? Yeah. So the nature of us already bring, set a context that as a human being, we are more easier to
Mhm.
connect with the things, is more physical.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean that we cannot feel the things that is less tangible, less
Yes.
physical. It's just that it requires more conscious effort in
Mhm.
building up that. Now, when you are dealing with more and more busier tasks, is bumping up, especially with the capitalism's kind of the world.
Mhm. Mhm.
Without money, you cannot survive. You will worry about even your food or even your place to stay. So this kind of setting in a big environment already set the context that is the priority of humans is more towards the material world. So
Mm.
with that kind of umbrella of the background, so it brings to the current situations whereby most people neglect, I would say, or
Mm.
they don't even have the chance to develop
Yes.
this powerful side of the asset
Yeah.
actually carry with,
Yeah.
and they become victim
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Example, like they'll keep on unstop and cannot stop the endless of the thoughts
Mm.
and worries.
Mhm. Mhm. Anxiety and stuff too. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. People
Yeah.
start
Mhm.
to naming, start to
Mm.
give different name of this kind
Yeah.
of symptom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, however, a lot of time, if let's say you're willing to awaken the connection between you and your
Mhm.
body will guide you a lot of the direction and hints what to
Mm.
do the next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Intuition, yeah, towards the next step, right? So yeah, and no, welcome, Jace again. So we'll continue that thought in terms of how can someone become more aware of the self-intuition in terms of their own energies so that they can trust it. Because I think the reason that the material world or physical touch is very comfortable for people to accept is because it's there. I can trust that if I put my hands together, they will connect. But when I don't have connection, like in fitness and the health world, proprioception is basically kind of knowing where your body is without, if I close my eyes, I still know where my hands are, so I can kind of like sense where they are. But like, how can people lean more towards trusting that energy of you not touching something, but you can, move towards it in your perspective? So yeah.
Mm. So I feel is very much related back to what Lucien said just now. It's about starting from feeling your physical body first. So
Mm-hmm.
in many classes, I teach people how they can strengthen their intuition.
Mm.
It all starts from feeling your own body, from sensing the feelings and noticing the sensations from your body.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, if you notice, like every time when we come to making a decision in the real life, and there are some kind of subtle sensations that actually, if you are able to notice, you will be, if you feel like this feels good. Like if I
Mm.
go with this suggestion, go with this option, it feels good for the body. You just simply feel good. And
Mhm.
sometimes when you make a decision, but you feel like this is not for you, but somehow because of the other external factors, or maybe just looking at the logical like pro and the con list, right?
Mhm.
Then you decide this is the way to go. But you actually feel something that this seems not aligned. So
Mm.
that subtle feelings, if let's say we can go a bit deeper, it's actually the sensations that one is able to pick up from the body. So
Mm.
it's always a good practice
Mhm.
to start to feel your body. It's like I always tell my students, maybe the first thing you can do is finding the feeling of a yes, because
Mm.
everyone's has a different feeling of a yes.
Mhm.
Maybe mine is like when I say yes, when my body is saying yes, I feel like lighter. I
Mm.
feel like in terms of emotions, I feel like there's more joy, there's more happiness.
Yeah.
It's like it's a feeling.
Yeah.
And once you are able to you sort of calibrate, right, what is your yes feeling,
Mhm.
then you can do the same for the no feeling. How does
Ah.
it feel when you say no, right? When your body
Yeah.
is saying no.
Yeah.
And I call it the calibration. So once you calibrate that, you find that it becomes even more obvious to you when it
Mhm.
comes to making decisions in your life. And this is
Yeah.
what basically we talk about intuition. Yeah, this is like you connecting to other senses besides the logical, analytical kind of like conclusion that one usually use in this modern world. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. No, thanks for that share. Curious, is there like a maybe feeling or like in between? Maybe feel. What does the
Maybe, oh
maybe
yeah, yeah,
feel?
yeah. It
Yeah.
could be, it could be, it could
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
That's called
So
unsure feeling.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah.
feeling yes.
Yeah.
Between yes and
Like
no,
new
of course, there's
territory.
also unsure. Yes.
So like judging into like a new experience, for example. I think that's
Mm,
probably the when you get put into an environment that is new to you. It might feel comfortable, it might not feel comfortable, but you don't
mm.
know how to feel. How do you gauge those things usually? Like anyone can answer, sorry. So
So,
yeah.
with what Jace is just mentioned, right? Do you
Yeah.
realize actually got two parts? In
Mm,
order for us to build the trust
mm,
towards our intuitions,
yeah.
yes, it sounds like, okay, just know your feeling, just awaken your feeling. But actually, it's not just that.
Hmm.
At least there got two key parts.
Okay.
So one part is you must aware and connect your feelings. That's just one portion.
Hmm.
It's not the only portion. Now, the other one is understanding or interpretations of your feelings.
Okay.
That's result in what Jace is mentioned. Like you got to know, you got to find out what does it means to your body that is
Hmm.
trying to tell you yes and no or unsure.
Hmm. Hmm.
And no one can tell you how does it feel because feeling
Exactly.
is through experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And through this, right, I want to share a very interesting story about robot and AI.
Yeah. 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 Nice.
People talk about AI is like artificial intelligence, right? They
Mm.
trying like humans right now is trying to create a humans
Mm. Yeah.
without life,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
create intelligence without life.
Hmm.
So when in the very beginning you look like the robot move very awkward,
Mm. Not
and
natural.
yeah, not
Mm.
nature.
Yeah.
And what for? You
Yeah.
want to spend so much of effort to teach a robot to maybe raise the hand
Yeah.
as nature as human when humans already know how to do it.
Mm.
What for? And it
Hmm.
costs so much of money, effort, and time.
Hmm.
But the scary part of the AIs, or you can the combination of the robot and AI lah.
Mm.
Let's call it robot lah. Okay,
Sure.
the robot with AI. Okay,
Hmm.
so the scary thing is, yes, it look like it learns slow,
Hmm.
but once the robot get it,
Hmm.
it will never wrong again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So give a example is there was experiments
Mm.
in Japan. So Japan got a traditional game, something like you hold a wood in your hands
Okay.
and carry with a string and a ball.
Yeah.
So the game is very simple. You just want
Oh,
to put,
kendama. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I don't know how,
Kendama.
kendama, is it?
Yeah, kendama.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
the aim of the game is you want to put the ball
Ball onto
nicely
the
sit on
side.
the wood thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
So the company have a test to let
Yeah.
the robot to do this.
Oh,
So with many days, can't even get close to it
yeah,
and very stupid kind of things. But after
Yeah.
one time ad hoc,
yeah. Done.
the machine get it.
Yeah,
And the scary part is when this moment happen,
constantly. Yeah.
yes, endless time, no matter how much of condition or
Yeah.
weird position you give
Yeah.
to the machine, the robot learned.
Oh, nice.
And even more scary is one robot learn this, right?
Mm.
The rest of the generation
Yes.
learn also.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
the scary part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, come to the humans,
Mm-hmm.
that's the tricky part.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mhm.
Romy, you got son, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't you think there's a bug in the humans?
Mm-hmm.
How come every time we got to relearn everything
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
zero?
Yeah. Yeah.
How come we cannot share what we learned through different humans?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the machine do,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
the
There's no
robot
network.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. The connection. Yeah.
Okay. So is this because of this part of the unsure, you can see that it's a bug thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of slow down and
Mhm.
make the competitive between humans and AI become theoretically and fundamentally principle where unfair already. It doesn't make sense to compare with AI through this. Now
Yeah.
come back to the vibe and energy and the trust about our intuitions.
Mhm.
So once you build the trust, but this kind of trust in the humans, as long as you are humans, okay? So we are not talking about AIs.
Yeah.
Right now, back to the topic of humans, you always have to apply the rules of like 80-20.
Mhm. Yeah.
That means you always must stay openness to the mistake in
Mhm.
order for you to arrive in a deeper and rooted and firm kind of understanding and faith in what
Mhm.
you believe.
Mhm.
So because with the AI robotic things, they are formula in a way that much more fixated kind of the rules. You
Mhm.
can't have two rules that are contracted with each other.
Yeah.
But humans have the ability to embrace these.
Yeah. Yeah. The blending of it. Yeah.
Yes, I give
Yeah.
you another one example is like the rules for the monk.
Mhm.
You cannot get near to so-called you cannot interact with female too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-called the basic rule.
Sure.
And the second rules is you cannot kill life.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? These are two golden rules that you cannot break.
Yeah.
Agree?
For the monks. Yeah.
Right? For
Yeah.
the monks, yes.
Yeah.
So there was a case in Japan, the earthquake in
Mhm.
2008.
Mhm.
Okay, so there was one of the not Japan, sorry, China. It's China.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the earthquake, break down make a lot of disaster in the living environment there, a
Yeah.
lot of the housing breakdown, whatever. So due to the location, the special location of the temple, so the temple's half damaged but still able to function.
Mhm.
Now a lot of the pregnant lady
Mhm.
seek for help.
Oh, yeah.
Now if you apply for the rules, if you're AI,
Yeah.
no debate, no doubt, it's a confirmed no,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But for humans, we consider much more deeper things.
Yeah.
We consider the deeper thing. Yes, this is the rules.
Mhm.
But there are conditions that challenging the rules.
Mhm.
But the reason for challenge this is to challenge your faith,
Mhm.
challenge your deeper depths of your faith and the belief that you are holding with.
Mhm.
And this is exactly separate between individuals as well.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
And this is also the beauty of the bugs that
Yeah.
we mentioned about either just now.
Yeah.
Okay, the bugs in the humans, why we always have to relearn things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are actually beauty of it. That the beauty of it is always stay open and create the endless possibility and creativity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And come back to the building the trust of your intuitions.
Mm-hmm.
You need to first awaken your feelings and with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of openness.
Mm-hmm.
And start to categorize, so-called narrow down it. Okay, this range of the feelings maybe is telling me yes. Then
Mm-hmm.
how you testify it is through lifelong experience as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And every time it testify it brings you to the data about 80%, but
Mm-hmm.
still not to the 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because we want to always remain the 20% of the doubts and openness
Mm-hmm.
in order for us to build more solid of the 80% there.
Yes. Yes.
So to me, this is a very, very interesting and very powerful way of helping me in my real life,
Mm-hmm.
how I able to arrive in a decision in a much more faster way,
Mm-hmm.
not in the not in a careless way. I have a calculative way, but not in the language, not
Mm.
in the number form of calculation,
Yeah.
but it's with a filtering system with the energy and the vibe that I holding and
Yeah.
compare to the interaction vibe with each other.
Yes.
And talking about realize of feelings, the tricky part is how do you know this is a yes decision when this is feeling so good?
Mm-hmm.
There is a topic called temptation.
Mm-hmm.
So example, junk food.
Yeah.
Everyone love junk food, right?
Yeah.
So I come across this question. People ask me
Every
like,
day. No, just kidding.
not about junk food lah,
Yeah,
but
no.
it's something about how do I know that when I'm feeling so good, but
Mhm.
actually I should say a no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So this come also the same to how do I say a yes when I'm feeling uncomfortable?
Exactly. Yeah.
This part, okay, the previous part, the junk food example, okay, everyone know that you should say no. Okay. So I don't want to go for that kind of debate, but let's go for the other
Yeah.
direction, which is how do you say yes when you have the feeling of uncomfortable?
Mm.
Let's come to the deepest of the connection of faith without wording.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly how a mother or a parents
Mm-hmm.
jump and fly to save their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the second of accidents, the car
Yeah.
accidents or whatever. Even though you know that for sure, very high chance, 99.99% both of you will die. But
Yeah.
you will still go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What make you to arrive at that decision to go?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the moment you still arrive to the answer of yes, despite uncomfortable.
Mm.
You see that?
Yeah.
So that's the tricky part of 20% that I'm talking about. You are first aware of your feelings, second, start to categorize them, and then always have a room of 20% to help you arrive and building your deeper sense of faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is very handy,
Yeah.
very handy in the real life experience, especially you decide who you want to get along with. Not just that, especially come to business decision, also important,
yes.
as simple as who you want to hire,
Yeah.
who you want to partner with,
Yeah.
who can you trust? And people will always ask, how do you know, Lusin? How do you know? I know for 80%.
Yeah.
I cannot say for 100%, but I am ready for the 20% of the risk.
Yes. Yes. So Jace was part of the 80% or no, so far okay. Yeah,
Not always okay.
you're not
We
always
still got a
okay.
lot of time.
It's
It's not
20%
okay.
not okay,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
like
exactly.
Yes.
Occasionally you regret it, but
Yes.
most of the time is good. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But the not okay time helped me to break through my blind spot also.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
love that.
that kind of what you talk about, the 20%. For me, at least, it's usually it's dealing with growth or purpose. It would land in that space. Like when you talk about if something were to, happen to my son or something about to happen that's really bad towards him, of course, like no,
yeah.
like a bullet, a train, whatever. Those like hypotheticals, but it actually does feel that way because I think naturally in human nature we want our offsprings to keep, going on forever because that's kind of the ideal purpose. Um, but yeah, there are certain things, let's say going on stage to do a speech, that you've never done before. Sometimes you get the butterflies in your body and you're like, I don't want to do this. But, when you do dive into it, you get an experience that can potentially lead you deeper, into another realm that, expands your whole like creativity. And totally, like you've shared quite a lot in terms of like AI tools, which is good. I love it. We got lots to talk about. But like what you talk about in AI, for me too, I think AI is very skill based. Like it's very good at doing skills. Like once you train it, it can do it right, like you said, 100% of the time. It can duplicate the future things that are related to this knowledge the same way. For us, like we have DNA that we can pass on, but it takes time to train, but also we have like the network of, let's say, fungus. Like I've always been really interested in this, like mushrooms and stuff too. They have this web of knowledge that can pass through. So I'm always wondering, like, if humans can actually, if we do work together, can we actually do something like that, right? So, but as a creative myself too, as a photographer, marketer, um, I really welcome AI for the reason that it can run those skill tasks way faster and way more error free than I can personally. Then I actually have more time and space to be even more creative. Because like you're talking about, like blending of ideas. I think AI is not AI is really good at when you tell it to blend the ideas, but it can't actually blend the ideas yet, at least. So I love putting two different ideas together. Like recently I've been eating a lot of like ketogenic diets, like high fat, moderate protein, and low carbs, and seeing a bunch of these recipes that I love eating. So like you talk about temptations, but I'm like, oh crap, it's not keto friendly. So what do? I use AI. I put the recipe in. I take a photo of the thing that I want to eat, and the back I take like the ingredients and stuff. I'm like, can you give me a recipe that is keto friendly, that is as close to this as possible? So it has a knowledge database. It searches the web, right away it gives to me. So to me, it's that creativity of putting a need that I have with the skill and knowledge that AI can do way faster, way more robust than me, to enhance my energy even. I think it's like if we can bring that to it. So that's a reply to what the wonderful stuff you've shared just now, Lucy. So but yeah, like I don't know if Jace has any kind of combination idea to what Lucina shared, in terms of, yeah, what's your prospect, I guess, of AI and kind of openings for growth in terms of that 2080, the feeling yourself, yeah.
AI is I mean this is how the trend of the world is going with
Mm-hmm.
AI. And of course it's for me, I'm not really a heavy user of AI at this point in time. Of course, it's always helpful to get to like leverage on some of the things that they can help us to increase the productivity and
Mm-hmm.
efficiency, which I do appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Lucid is the one who is doing more of this. Yeah.
Nice.
So in some way, it's a good partnership. So
Yeah.
things that I don't do so much, then she talk with her and she
Yeah.
does it. So it's really good. And
Nice.
I just have a comment regarding the 20-80% that Lucien was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, as we cultivate as we use practices to cultivate, we have like in our program, we have ECT practices and other energetic practices. So I think I'm more talking about the growing of the consciousness. So
Mm.
as we cultivate our consciousness, as we cultivate through even through how we present ourselves in life, like how we get along, like live right in this world. In fact, there's a lot of lessons like we talk about growth and all those, and these are part of the cultivations. So it will come to a point that I believe because this is some of the things that I also experience through my personal experience, is it will come to a point that you will be able to be in that quiet moment, that quiet state. So when you are in that quiet state, you are less likely to be influenced by the external factors, I think the material goods that Lucian talked about, right? And this is really the space that whatever that you feel is the true sensations that you're experiencing. Like Lucian was talking about, like when we eat junk food and we have snack, we feel good. But that level of that feeling of goodness is actually, it could be illusion that you think is good, you feel is good, but it's not the actual sensations that your body is sending you. Because the actual sensation is so subtle that sometimes you really need to be so quiet to capture that. So that is the quiet moment that I talk about. But in order for us to go to that, it takes time and
Mm-hmm.
it takes efforts to go through the cultivations and all those things. So
Yeah.
so in my opinion, if let's say every one of us starts to able to connect to that quiet space in us, then you actually will be able to really filter those noise
Yeah.
and even distractions or even some things that is not the truth,
Mm.
not the true sensations that your body is actually trying to tell you. So just like the junk food example, another example is like when we come to facing certain challenges in our life, we feel not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that not comfortable may not be the true interpretations of what is like equals to a no. It could be a signal to tell you that, oh, this is something that is helping you to grow. And when you see that perspective, when you interpret from that point of view, then you find that it no longer stops you from moving forward and grow. So this is how I think eventually we can really cover the other 20% that we talk about
Mm.
when we are able to really connect so deeply with ourselves and having that quiet space to connect. And a lot of times intuitions really comes as something that is very instant without you even need to think. It's like I think both for you share the example, like if let's say our loved ones they are experiencing some kind of like difficulties in life, we will like not even think about it. We just rush
Mm.
to help them, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is like a very instinctive feeling. In sense, it's also in my opinion, I call that is also a kind of intuitions. We don't
Mm-hmm.
even think, we just know that this is the
The
actions that we
right thing
want
to
to
do.
take.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, totally, totally. No, thanks for like going even deeper on that concept. And now, like after being a parent, like having a child, it definitely this weird, an extra portion of my heart actually expands into like covering for my son. There's this extra
Mm,
space, which is really, really interesting because the only time that I've felt that is when I became an adult towards
yeah.
my parents, towards my mom. I was able to understand kind of the hardship she's been through and all the stupid things that I'd done in my life, like with her accepting for me. And that I've opened my heart to her even more. But after having my son, I even understood her even more. This kind of like and this intelligence, I think it was really cool to understand like when I have a new life event, it kind of reshuffles my experiences and intelligence
Mm,
to a way that allows me to grow. And I think that's where the imagination kind of and the creativity comes in. Like if you let it guide you, it'll be able to
yeah,
let your life have a better lifestyle, right? So
exactly.
but yeah, thanks for sharing that. For me, yeah, I guess I haven't gone back to the beginning of when we met. So was it 4 years ago now? I think it's so time passes.
Yeah,
Plus
it's about that.
minus 2 years for COVID, probably. Yeah. So probably even longer than that. I can't even remember. But I remember it was in Singapore, obviously. It was online first, virtually during
Mm,
COVID. So probably it was 2020, so close to 5 years ago now. And right away you can sense the energies. I think even through, Zoom gallery view. For me, I love tech, if you can't tell already. I love
mm,
technology. But when I first got onto the Zoom for our mentorship program, our training program, I usually like opening Zoom in gallery view so I get to see everybody that's in the room, and then I try to kind of pick out who's cool, who's not cool. So, so that's kind of like, and then right away, like I see, Lucine and Jace, that they're smiling and then always contributing in either the chat when no one can really talk because someone's like sharing, or when you guys when we're asked to interact, you guys are always very proactive in terms of wanting to share your energies. And for me, like I'm very much the same way, where I feel like, because I'm there, I should be there, be present and not just like sit back. Not that sitting back is a bad thing, but it's just this sense of energy that I got from you guys that was very familiar and calming. And kind of in, the students that I teach in Charm Logic, it's kind of that same concept of, even the
mm.
podcast is named First Seven, which the first 7 seconds in terms of the impression and the presence that you can bring. And that's why I feel there's that connection in energy and presence very naturally. It is, the presence is what kind of energy you bring to the environment that you're going to be at, and you don't even have to talk to anybody. Naturally, happy people or cool people, you can just feel them, around the room. I think you guys are really cool and happy too, but yeah, but you can also feel like also the other way around, the negative people too, right? Where they're energy suckers, I call them, where like don't go close to them because either they'll try to bring you down, or yeah, they'll bring other people down and make you feel that. I always bring enough energy so that those people don't take it away, or I can give them too. So it's good. But yeah, how about for you guys? Like, how'd you feel? Like, do you remember how we first met?
Oh, you challenge
Oh,
me.
a challenging memory. But yeah, like, because I would love
I
to
think
know,
through
like,
Zoom.
on Zoom, right?
I
Yeah.
I have a very strong impression of Romy
Okay.
when because I think we are the Lucy and I were the early batches, then
Yes.
Romy joined us maybe 1, 2 batches later.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the mentorship, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about Lucy, but I do have a very strong impression of you, like
Mm.
a good one.
Okay.
Like
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like a strong negative impression. Thanks for making that clear. Thank you.
yeah, it's like what you said is like it's the vibes, it's the energy that one person is sending out,
Yeah.
even if you're not talking, right? It's like
Mm.
yeah, and of course we well know like you're the charming, the Prince Charming, right? Everybody said that,
That's
yeah.
okay.
We do agree too.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't pay you guys
So
to say that, so thanks. And then, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I
yeah,
will pay you later in lunch.
and not just
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
I think the really the beauty is not just the physical appearance.
Mm.
Is sometimes you see people like they look quite good
Yeah.
outside, but sometimes they don't shine. But
Yeah.
you are like person who looks good and also shine from the
Oh, thank you.
inside,
Thank you. Thank
which shows and along the way we verify that because the way how you try to help the community and like
you.
try to
Mm.
like contribute is really showing that you are that's just like you are shining from inside out,
No, thank you.
like
Thank you.
creating values for yourself and for others. And that
Thank you.
explains why your energy is really like the good vibe that's showing out.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. No, I really appreciate that, of course.
It's
This is
just
kind of
like
the
you.
yes, the yes feeling. Yeah. I
Yes,
categorize
yes,
this
feeling.
as a yes feeling. And that's, we gotta have more compliments coming to me. So no, no, yeah. Sorry,
I would say
Lucine, you were saying something. Yeah.
you are such a person that living in the flow. You
Mm.
are very in sync
Mm.
with yourself.
Mm.
Whereby most of the people, at least in the culture that we're living in Singapore,
Yeah, yeah.
so most of people don't really have time or maybe have
Oh,
even the chance
yeah,
to
yeah.
develop this part, which is the
Mm.
most powerful part. And
Mm.
this will result in they become a victim of life.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how to say so is like we come across a lot of clients.
Mm.
They're actually very, very very successful, or they have already becomes like top management level already.
Nice. Yeah,
A
yeah, yeah.
lot of people are looking up to them.
Yeah,
But when you talk to them, right, they will say that life is so difficult.
yeah, yeah.
They're so difficult. They are always like giving 200% in order to get maybe 10% of improvement.
I know. It's crazy.
So I feel very, very sad for them because my parents, I witnessed how my parents also go through the same kind of the pattern of life as well. They
Mm-hmm.
believe, they buy into the belief that you cannot rest.
Yeah.
You cannot, you cannot stop, so-called.
Mm-hmm.
Or not stopping, I would say pause.
Mm.
There's
Mm.
no value in silence. There's no value in even sleep. Can you
Yeah.
believe that people keep on finding out how can I sleep lesser or even skip the sleep so I can work non-stop? It's crazy,
It's
right? So
crazy.
it's like you work until become like a machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like AI, right? Like AI. Yeah, exactly.
And therefore you start to worry that you cannot perform like AI.
Yeah,
But we are human, we are not AI.
exactly.
Just like it's as simple that you won't worry that you will do a better work at washing a clothes compared to a washing machine. You
Yeah,
won't
exactly. Oh,
you
boy.
won't
Perfect
compare that.
example. Perfect
So
example. Yeah.
machine is a machine, human is human. Now,
Yes.
what is the most valuable things in human that AI will never beat is about connection.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, there are people, I'm not sure from me, have you ever come across this kind of people before? It's
Mm-hmm.
like when you see these people, right? You know that you shouldn't bully this person, but you just can't help to have a
Fully.
feelings like, okay, maybe not bully, but you just
Take
feel like,
advantage.
you want to
Take
take
advantage.
advantage of this person, or
Yeah.
you just feel like you don't want to be friendly with this person, or
Yes,
not
yes.
even to the extent you want to punch these persons, like just you don't want to get close
Yes,
to these
yes.
persons.
Yeah.
We come across this type of people quite a lot.
Yeah.
They're protracting this kind of vibe, attack,
Yes,
non-stop
yes.
attack kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
But it's not like they consciously means
Yeah.
to attack people.
Yeah.
When because we are doing energy, so
Yeah. You feel it. Yeah, you feel it right
we
away.
we do have to deal with some of these clients
Of course.
with a condition that
Yeah.
this is not their true self.
Yes.
I want to highlight. Okay,
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
still say no to
Yeah.
people when their
aggressive.
true self is also attacking
Oh
me.
yeah,
So
it's actually still the same. You're authentic at least. So yeah, they're the
yeah,
same.
okay, at
Yeah,
least. Okay. And I got the right to say no.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so we help to those people to connect with their true self
Mm,
whereby they really want to help people without the necessary the needs of shield themselves or overly protecting themselves. And
mhm,
this kind of shield is actually prevent them
mhm,
to effortless effort
mhm,
in progressing in their career, in their life, or in their relationship. People can't see this layer
mm.
because this is not tangible. They
Yeah,
will start to have an endless of why
yeah,
in their mind.
yeah,
Why am I the one getting this?
yeah.
Why the boss choosing others to promote, not me?
Mhm.
Or why boss choosing me to promote? Is it
Yeah.
want to do some make
Negative.
me like have a bad performance in front of bigger crowd or what?
Wow.
They will
Even thinking
start
that way.
to have this kind of ruminating kind of
Yes.
people call it self-doubt. Yeah, this is a naming thing,
Yeah.
But when you zoom back to the most root cause
Yeah.
of the energy layer is they are disconnect or lost touch with their authentic true self of them. They
Mm-hmm.
start to living and portray in the image in their mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the image they are living in, portion of that actually connect with their true self, but
Mm-hmm.
not all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But even though these two parts, that means their true self and the reality that they're living in, that are same things, right? But
Mhm.
if let's say the connection is not there,
Yeah,
they won't feel the joy.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we are helping them to melt
Mm-hmm.
these invisible block or
Mm-hmm.
wall or whatever you call it,
Yeah,
or dust,
yeah,
okay, to help them in sync with them. So
yes.
when Romy, you're asking, do you still remember how we first met or whatever? Sorry, my memory is not so
Not so good.
precise. I'm not AI kind of a
Okay.
memory. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
However, I can feel as a connection box. I can
Mm.
feel that you are so open and
Mm.
ready to connect,
Mhm.
but not in a way that without boundary.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So some people that are overly open,
yeah.
they will make them very vulnerable.
Yes,
So we won't take that as an advantage, but some people would.
I know, I know. I
Mm.
think I was there before, and it took some calibration before. Like, I just wear my own energy down very quickly. Because it's like you want to connect with everybody. Like I'm always excited about meeting people. Like I've been using AI to study myself actually because I've been using it
Oh,
for 4 or 5 years now. So it knows a lot of information about me, so that I would ask AI, knowing all the stuff that I've given to you, can you let me know what are my top 10 traits, and then distill all that down to like one word. What would you describe me as? And it described me as, or the word that described me is enthusiasm, which means curiosity plus excitement. So I'm always curious about what's going on in my environment or the people that are in my environment, and I'm always as excited as the person or more excited about the person about what they're doing at the moment. I found that has given back to me a lot, because it always feels like I want to be someone that's familiar to my environment, so they don't feel that threat. Like I think what you're talking about, when people are very sharp, because I always think everything is not enough. It's like someone's coming here to grab my thing, so I gotta like protect it. So it always comes out like, wow, why do you feel that way constantly? Yeah, I've met those people too. And for me, like, if I feel that there is a deeper layer, like kind of like what you're talking about, I might explore it. I would take always 5 minutes with somebody just to kind of sense, is this worth my energy? Sometimes they just don't react. They're very passive, that, these are the types of people that people will take advantage of. I just don't even engage anymore because I know it takes a lot to like, draw out the energy. And some you can sense that there's always a ulterior motive and a different purpose, let's say to make money or to take advantage of me even. And I can sense that now, like you're mentioning, where I do set boundaries now in terms of you can't overstep this. I'll let you come in and take a look a little bit, but if you overstep, I'm going to cut it now too. But yeah, that's so true. Like there are more people that are more on the fence or defensive in the world now. I think especially in Singapore, when I went there too, I definitely I
but the
definitely felt
key
that.
is they're not aware of it.
Yeah. It's so
Yes.
The
natural
key is not
to them.
aware.
Yeah.
So just now you mentioned about AI helping you to understand you more.
Mm,
So there are actually a precondition. Do you know
mm,
that? The precondition is because you
mm.
are open to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
yeah,
you are
yeah,
not
exactly.
open to the AI, I mean, it's not because of this. Many people open to AI, but they can't use the AI effectively to understand themselves. It's
Mm.
because they are not open to themselves
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
yet. So that kind of openness is not born with it one.
Uh,
So even you born with it,
yeah.
but the rollout of the culture
Mm, mm.
will bury it.
Yeah.
That's
Quickly.
result, yeah.
Yeah, quickly.
So that's result in how the Asia culture, I would say, majority of
Yes.
the Asia culture
Yeah.
bury this part
Yeah.
that make them more prone to the false sensation, which Jace is mentioning, the temptation and whatever,
Mm.
and neglect the most valuable subtle message that body is sending.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think this is also the part that I remember, Romy, you asked us this question. Do you really want to live in Singapore? I don't think
Yes, I
Singapore
remember
match
that.
your vibe.
And I'm like, do you really? Yeah, I did ask that. Yeah. Is it the best place for where you guys want to be, really? Because I know, after knowing you guys for so much, we've talked, at length about life in general, not just business. I know in Singapore is actually, I think it's quite easy to create business and do really well, if you put yourself into the environment and plug in. But the thing is, you do lose the humanness because everyone runs in a certain mode,
Mm.
you know. But like what I see you guys do, it's like you're helping people rediscover that by like removing the layers, like you're talking about. But it gets to be a lot of work.
Lots of works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And crazy tired.
And the cool thing, I think we even talked about this, where some people that are in the public eye, close to our age, we're in our I won't share our age, but we're not young anymore. But there are people that are seriously at the same age that look so much older, and that they just do 200% for that extra 10% that you're talking about constantly, nonstop, and it wears down the physical body, and they're unaware of it because they think that they're doing the right thing. And I don't know, I don't know, that doing the right thing part for yourself or for community, it's a very cultural thing. Like here in North America, we definitely focus more on the self, the individual. We kind of forget about community, the collective. Whereas in Asia, I feel it's the other way around. We forget about ourselves. We always talk about other people, how successful they are. We got to do this because this person will think that we're blah, 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 blah. Here, we don't care what other people think, or less. Not that we don't care, but we think about it a lot less because it's like the individual is paramount. There's that kind of freedom of whatever we want to do. But every time I go back to Asia, I feel when I'm talking to someone, they always hesitate to do new things because they think about what's going on in the past, or what the community will think about what they're doing. Like I think we've taught some classes together too, in terms of discovering themselves. Sometimes it's really hard because they can't get out of that shell of spotlighting themselves, right? Like promote yourself, learn how to promote yourself. Of course, it's not a boastful thing, but if you have something good, you should share it with, the community, right? So, but yeah, I want to stay forever young, so I can't, I can't think
That's inside your surname.
yeah. I did make that. That is a made up last name too. So it was my dad's stage name. But Young is good. I do feel it too. But sometimes I wake up in the morning. I don't feel that way. My muscles hurt. It's hard to get up. Like, oh, I do not feel young whatsoever. No, that's awesome because I think all this energy conversation, it gets me wondering, like we're talking in the beginning, me and Lucy, when before Jace come on,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to sense other people's energy,
Mm.
when you first start out, in terms of being aware of it, and to really get down to the self, and in terms of the energy within yourself, it takes a lot more discovery, like you said, starting out with what does a yes feel like, what does a no feel like, what does a unsure maybe feel like. How can someone, in your guys' perspective, start with sensing others' energy? I know sometimes it's very direct when someone's like happy at you, yelling at you, smiling at you. That can be very obvious, but sometimes it's really subtle. How do you open up to receive that? Yeah, anyone can go. Sorry.
Before you answer this, you
Yeah.
must think about, do you want to receive or not? Because when you open your antenna,
Yeah.
you got to know how you set your boundary first.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
If
agree.
you don't, You
I know.
become the one being influenced by others.
Yes. Trouble. It's trouble. It's a lot. A lot of energy will come in. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
So I got to set a context that assume this person already had a certain level of control or setting boundary over their own antenna first. That means they have the filter system, what can come in, what cannot.
Oh, so okay. So jumping. Let's move backwards and start simpler. That how would someone set or start to learn how to set boundaries in terms of feeling and describing their emotion? I think there's two things that you're sharing, right? Yeah, the connection, but also knowing when the connection comes in, how to treat that connection. Like, how do you set that boundary?
So the boundary is not a clear line,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a zone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So again, it's not like I can tell you the answer, you get it, because the answer is coming from you yourself
Mm-hmm.
through the life experience of try and error.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if let's say I want to keep a tips for you to have to speed up the process is try to learn from someone that you feel they are wise,
Mm-hmm.
not they are smart. So there
Mm-hmm.
are a fine line between smart and wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Try to learn and connect with them, talk to them, understand how they're handling their life and observe them.
Yeah.
So who are the them? That means those are open enough and have wisdom.
Like knowledge
Yeah.
that's been practically used. That's why I talk to you guys, because I think you guys are wise. I don't think you guys are
Thank you.
smart. No, just kidding. Well, that's the thing. Actually, most wise people that I know seem not so smart on the surface because they don't care. It's funny. It's very funny. But like when you actually talk to them, well, they have a good history and life experience that they've already kind of figured out their own zone, and the boundaries that they're comfortable with who they are. That's why they don't have to show. Nothing is really sharp coming off of them. It's a very calm energy. You feel those like really, really successful people, I think, with great relationships, not just money. I think money is a very small thing now, like at least at this age of my life. And in the environment, let's say in Singapore, where everyone does pretty well, money is a constant driver. Like, but no one has that relationship success, or as many, I think, when I go there. And I find when you actually meet people that are successful in relationship and in their own health, they're very calm people, very quiet, not in a rush most of the time, because they
Yeah.
kind of be like, I don't have to worry about that, just chill. But like when I was younger and I met these people, I'm like, holy crap, this thing I really have to figure out. Or sometimes like even my mom, when I'm in my own current state and in trouble or under pressure, under certain challenges, for me, I'm like worried because I've never dealt with a certain issue. But then from her, she's dealt with stuff like that already. So she's like, yeah, don't worry. The worst that can happen is this. And then I'm like, yes, that's pretty bad. But she's like, yeah, don't worry. Like when time pass, things will come back and, things will be okay. So yeah, totally. I think a great suggestion, like finding those like calm and wise people like you two, people that are listening, please do reach out to Jasz and Lusin. But not too much, not too many people. No, 'cause they need their own time too. So, but yeah, for Jace, for you, like, how does that go about for you in terms of the boundary setting and the sensing side? Yeah.
I believe in intention.
Okay.
So even if you start to do anything, it's important that you set intention that, for example, like some people, they like what Lucian said. Oh, it's like these people, they tends to project energy that people might take advantage of them, or
Mm,
people
mm,
might just bully them. And again, a lot of these kind of people come and ask for suggestions. So I always tell them, first of all, you need to really set the intention, because right now a lot of things happening without your conscious awareness.
mhm,
So now you have to bring all these things to the conscious level first. Because a lot of times when the energy that we project, a lot of times it's not like what Lucian says, it's not the true self, it's not the
mm,
authentic self. It's just that sometimes because certain things happen in our life and we form a certain kind of belief and there's a certain form of self-defense mechanism.
Yes.
So it's how we cope. And when that happens, then that's just how people project the energy.
Yes.
And so all these things a lot of times is because it has been there for so many years, so long, they become a habit.
Mhm.
And people just don't connect them with it consciously.
Mhm.
So the first thing, in my opinion, is really about bringing this to the more conscious level and setting the intention. If let's say you notice you are you tend to be targeted at work, you tend to be get bullied, or you tend to be
Oh yeah.
taking advantage, or people
Mm.
tend to just ask for more things from you, then this is something that you start to aware that, oh, people are really invading into your boundaries.
Mhm.
And when that happens, then of course it's something that you are aware. Then the first thing is you set the intentions that, okay, I am not going to allow people to just invade my boundary. It's as
Mhm.
simple as maybe if you take a train, take a public transport, we have our own the comfortable personal space. Some people they are okay that you come a bit closer, but other people like they want you to be like further away from you. So again, it's like starting from your personal space, like how much you want to allow people to come
Mm.
in,
Yeah.
and you need to set that intention. It's like
Yes.
if if you want to, for example, we were talking to one of the students, she was looking for work-life balance.
Mhm.
But again, every time when the boss called, she immediately responded to the call and responded to the email.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
is not the boundary that is in line with the work-life balance, right? If let's say
Yes.
you're putting priority in work-life balance, then you need to also set a boundary that, okay, maybe after certain working hours on every day, then you're not going to respond to the work so
Yep.
that this is really in line with your priority. So
Yep.
again, that's the intentions that people need to set
Yes.
to understand, okay, what is something that I can take it, what is something that beyond this line is not something that I want. Then they have
Mm.
to be intentional about that and have to bring this in conscious. Once you start to bring this matter into the more conscious level, then this is where you can see things clearer. And of course, initially it might not be comfortable because this is not what you used to doing. But
Mm.
again, you are keep practicing it until it becomes something that become natural to you, and you
Yes.
form another new habit
Mhm.
that replace the old ones, which
Yes.
are not helpful. So this is how people start to change, and once you do that, your energy will start to shift as well.
Yeah, yeah, and you really start to kind of shine in that your own space too. Yeah, because I believe like first impression and charm is the same thing. Like
Mm,
it takes practice, you gotta, I think you have to know everyone else before you know yourself, almost like you're talking about. Like start learning about how people present themselves. And I learned this through sports actually, because I play competitive badminton. And
mm,
when I first started out, nobody really wanted to play with me. So it was like, because you're bad. It's the same thing, when you go in with you don't know your own energy, you're constantly being stepped on. People will take advantage of you constantly. Like people didn't even want to play with me. So I couldn't even be taken advantage of, I guess, because I wasn't on the court. So what I did was I sat in the corners studying each player
mm,
playing. I watch kind of, oh, what are they good at? What are they okay at? What are they really bad at? How do they interact with their opponents, with their partner when they're playing doubles? And then slowly I was able to, focus on what they are bad at. And I hit to where they're bad at most of the time to get points. And I actually got better because I was aware of, what the opponents were doing or the people that I was interacting with. And then I took that into business too by thinking of, okay, what is this person that I've never met? When I'm in networking events, I kind of eavesdrop a little bit, kind of how are they talking to people? How's their body language showing? Some when they're shy, they're kind of lower. So and some people kind of they're more boastful, their language is bigger.
mm.
So when I approached them, I used kind of that mirroring effect to them. When someone's speaking really loud, I speak loud with, hey, how's it going? Big hugs and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But when people are kind of like really soft, oh, you kind of like do a small nod. You don't even handshake because I think they're nervous to even shake hands because their hands are probably like really sweaty, or they're afraid that you'll crush their hand because people like don't know how to shake hands. And yeah, I find when you learn about others first, you can use that to and reflect that to start. And then once that happens, I think when you're comfortable with environments that you're in, then you can start discovering who you really are. Because you won't be challenged by the environment that you're walking into. I find sometimes because people are threatened by their environment that they have all these defenses up. They're guarding themselves. It's like, oh, don't take advantage of me. I don't want to give you money. Kind of like when you walk, by a panhandler, kind of an idea. You're always trying to avoid. But if you're actually comfortable with the environment, you can walk in really comfortably and discover yourself. And yeah, and slowly, like what Lucy was sharing and what Jace is sharing too, it's like there's the self-discovery side takes a lot of work to refine,
Yes.
but if you don't do it, you're always going to be in the same level too, right? So in terms of like what your outcome is as the sense therapy, like what do you want to give people or allow people to learn? What is the outcome that's the most ideal for you guys, for your clients and people that you interact with?
Live their life fullness.
Okay.
And especially through the Ishiki energy, right? We want the ultimate things that we want people to experience is they really shine truly beyond challenges.
Nice. It's a great segue to what I said, so that's good. Shine beyond your challenges. That is beautiful. And Jace, for you, I assume it's the same thing since you guys work together.
Yeah, it's basically the same, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
We are on the 80%, right?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I know. Don't worry about the 20%. As long as generally she's pretty good to work with, then it's great. How long have you guys been working together? No,
I never count. I'm very bad in the timing thing. Don't ask me that.
we
Jace is
knew
excited.
we knew each other in 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Well,
So
almost
9 years.
10 years.
Wow. That's why you can't remember because that is quite a long time. Yeah, Lucy. So, but then there's the kind of ups and downs I'm sure you guys have been through too in terms of business
for
and
sure,
personal life,
yes.
right? So
It's again, it's just an experience and I see as a growth opportunities because
Yeah.
it's never easy. It's always easier to just live your own life, but when you have to get along with someone else, then it becomes it just make the life more colorful and at the same time it offers opportunities for growth and expansion.
Yeah. Wonderful. No,
Mm.
awesome. I really appreciate you guys. I know we'll have many conversations and I'll find topics that are, energy related too. Because I find I can go really deep with you guys. Like I'm really calm when I talk to you guys. We've been friends for a while too. So I feel that we can dive into any topic that we want,
Yes.
and I would where can people find you guys on socials, or how would you want to connect with people if they're interested in kind of the topic that we talk about?
I'm not sure whether you're all using Facebook.
Yeah, I am.
Still using
I'm still
Facebook.
using Facebook. Yeah. That's hilarious.
So it's because some people already say that Facebook is for old people, so I'm not sure. So
Yeah.
We're old though, so it's okay. I want older clients actually. So no. I'm just kidding.
so Facebook or Instagram are fine. Just
Yeah.
look for the sensor therapy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, you
And
can get
yeah,
us.
like personally, I've experienced not only, the service side of what you guys offered. When I was in Singapore, you guys definitely took a lot of good care for me, even like held my luggage when I needed to. So, and this they won't do for everybody. So do not ask them. Yeah. Definitely at least have to buy them dinner if you want to leave your luggage. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
remember one day you have you come here,
Equipment?
you rent.
Yeah.
There's a heavy rain,
Yeah. Oh,
and
heavy
you
rain.
don't have
Yes.
umbrella.
Yeah. I remember.
You just run to our studio. I
Yeah.
was like, why don't you get an umbrella?
Umbrella. Oh, you know why? Because the train station was super close. It was the one next to the temple. So I was like, okay. I was searching on Google and I was like, oh, that's close enough, you know, another like 400 meters. It wasn't too far, but it wasn't close enough because I was pretty wet the time that I got to your studio. So
Lucky we got a t-shirt
I
at your
know.
size for
I still
you.
have it. I think it was meant the Columbia.
Yeah.
I have it. I have it. I think it was meant to be that it was there. And
Exactly.
I think Jace got it for was it a gift or something in North America, in
Yes, it was
US,
a
right?
gift. Yeah, but somehow I didn't manage to give it out. So
Oh, nice. So
he was
regift it.
waiting for you,
Back
right?
to
Whenever you
back
guys
to
come to
America.
Rocky Mountains, I will regift it to you because you want to have like 30 layers. I know Jace or Lucine doesn't like the cold, but you should definitely come to see the Rocky Mountains.
When we
But no, yeah,
come, if you
yeah.
come, it will be on the warmer seasons, not the
Yes.
cold ones.
Oh yeah, the summers here are beautiful. I know Singapore doesn't really have seasons, it's just hot in general. So I remember going there, waking up at 4 a.m. because I still had jet lag, and it was 27 degrees already at 4 a.m. And it
Yes.
rained the night before. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be cold. When cooler went out, I was like, I was like, holy crap, this is a little too hot. But no, I'm glad that I got to see you guys in person. So but no, appreciate all the energy that you guys give to me, and can't wait for our next conversation. Thank you so much for everyone listening to, and would love to connect to everyone more in the most authentic way and to shine bright from inside. So thank you guys again.
Thank
Bye
you.
Thank
bye.
you.